talk about guys like Malcolm McLaren.
Punk rock. Punk rock.
Punk rock. You've got to think about punk rock. That's what I think about. But I think also the medium is the message, it's a thought. How come there was never a punk rock song about that, Stacey?
Marshall McLuhan, he was the Canadian philosopher, and basically the guy who discovered or invented media studies. And this follows on what we were talking about in the first half of the age of discovery that we're entering upon. Not only are we heading to Mars and outer space, but we're heading to inner space in our mind. Combined with cyberspace, we're going to get into that Marshall McLuhan, he famously you may remember, Max, turn on, tune in, drop out, and I think this is the sort of uprisings you're seeing, but what Marshall McLuhan also gave us ties into the Renaissance and back into the Middle Ages, and that is Gutenberg galaxy. Okay, we're in a Gutenberg galaxy. What he predicted back in the 60s was that there would be a digital language, there would be electronic communication, and that once that happened, that it would be like the Gutenberg press, that it would suddenly, that knowledge would not be in the hands of the elite, the papal states, holding on to this power of the printing press today, that knowledge would spread, communication would spread, and there would be a sort of Renaissance and Enlightenment.
I do remember the 60s, and I do remember the feeling at that time with Timothy Leary and Marshall McLuhan and the cauldron that was the anti-Vietnam protest. The youth culture, as it was called at that time, decided and figured out that they could secede. They could simply walk away from the debate. The debate seemed pointless. The Vietnam War debate between Republicans and Democrats, between all these different factions of society, seemed utterly stuck and pointless. And so this idea of simply dropping out, seceding from it, and pursuing an inner life, which was what Timothy Leary was talking about, Marshall McLuhan was philosophically describing the media as an alternative source of light, an alternative beacon of light. You could make your own media. This was the beginning, really, of do-it-yourself media. People, up until that moment, television was very much NBC, CBS, ABC, and it was extraordinarily expensive to do so. But during the 60s and certainly in the 70s, cheap portable home video equipment became available, and people could make their own TV and make their own media reality. And so I think there is a parallel, because now you've got the ability for anybody to reach 1 billion people on planet Earth through the internet, and with their own media tools and with image crafting tools. That is remarkably powerful.
Gutenberg galaxy, that's what we have. Back then, when Timothy Leary and Marshall McLuhan and all these sort of thinkers looking at the youth economy around them, what they practiced and what they preached was that they urged people to embrace cultural changes through the use of psychedelics by detaching from the existing conventions and hierarchies in society. So the existing conventions and hierarchies are what are under threat now because of this Gutenberg galaxy.
They can simply detach, is what became the prevailing modus operandi for the boomers of that era to deal with the stalemate of the political quagmire. They detached. And here we have, in the 21st century, the ability to detach in new and exciting ways. Obviously, Elon Musk is actually detaching from the gravity of planet Earth and going into the solar system through the ability to garner millions of fans and followers using social media. An individual has the ability to create a whole wave of thought. Meme warfare, weaponization of memes, all these things are very similar, and it seems as though the prophecy that Marshall McLuhan had in the 60s is now coming completely true. As a prophet. He is underrated.
Now, I want to tie that period to a headline from today, and remember this mind expansion, this expansion of human consciousness, this Gutenberg galaxy is tied to the internet and our communication through the internet and our communication through memes, telling, like we always point out, that money printer tells everybody around the world, whatever country they're in, whatever nationality they are, whatever color, whatever race, whatever gender, whatever anything, they all understand immediately. That communicates powerfully across the world. So here we have this race in the deglobalization and Chinification around artificial intelligence, and Elon Musk recently warned about this on the Joe Rogan show, where he said that once AI weaponizes memes, that could be the danger. That's what he sees the danger. So I cut to this headline: the Pentagon promises.
But the density of the fungus makes it impossible to enter. Even if we could, I speculate that we would only find a reality entirely subsumed by the fungus. Total decomposition.
It's weird how excited she is, right?
I need to get going.
Try not to transport any spores outside the infected areas.
Use artificial intelligence for good, not evil. Of course, that sounds like Google's log line, which they never abided by. But, back in the 60s, of course, we had MK Ultra, which was run by the CIA. The CIA now are like upstanding journalists who are on MSNBC most nights. But, the fact is that in their DNA is these sort of programs that they ran. And, if you hear MK Ultra, you think conspiracy theory, right? But it was a genuine program that ran from 1953 to 1973, and they stopped in 1973, and it only got discovered, the program only got discovered in 1977. And that's based on a few fragments of the documents, because they had all been ordered to be burned. But I think it's important that it ended in 1973, because what the program was about was mind control. And this is what artificial intelligence is, what the Pentagon is seeking with their own programs. DARPA pays $1 million for an AI app that can predict an enemy's emotions. So they're always looking to control the population. This has been back since the Middle Ages, since the Dark Ages, since before that, through memes of the time, through transubstantiation, through the idea of controlling words, controlling text, controlling the Gutenberg galaxy.
Right, well, the Pentagon then would be a major American institution that is now having a problem of loss of faith. Whether it's a central bank, the Pentagon, government in general, this is part of the Renaissance, is that the population loses faith in the prevailing institutions. Whether it was the 1500s in Florence and loss of faith in the church, or whether it was the 1960s in America and loss of faith in the American political system, or the 21st century where we have loss of faith in the Federal Reserve Bank, the Pentagon, and other political institutions, and other various institutions that define the culture. It's a repeat of a Renaissance, if you will, to use your analogy. And with this idea of the Pentagon using AI for good, this, of course, is highly suspect, and no one should take that at face value and believe that that is their intention. And all technology in the 21st century relies on encryption. And encryption is something that right now is beyond the reach of the Pentagon. It's beyond the reach of any government. That is part of this technology, is that the Gutenberg press of the 21st century would mean the people's control of encryption.
Now, MK Ultra, as I mentioned, ended in 1973. So it was all about mind control, and the techniques they used were pretty extreme. They used to manipulate its subjects' mental states and brain functions. Techniques included the covert administration of high doses of psychoactive drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, electroshocks, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, as well as other forms of torture. And most of that is, of course, if you tune into cable news and you see all these modern MK Ultra, all these intelligence officials who are now bizarrely like journalists on television as if it's like some normal thing. But 1973, so control the masses. And in fact, in today's story that I told you, DARPA pays $1 million. It mentions that the previously unreported work is being carried out under a DARPA project dubbed PRIDE, of course, like modern identity politics, short for prediction and recognition of intent, decision, and emotion. The aim is to create an AI that can understand and predict reactions of a group rather than an individual, and then offer guidance on what to do next. We're going to be able to come out of a dark ages. They're afraid of our free will. This is the same sort of thing the papacy did back in when the Italian Renaissance was flourishing. They excommunicated entire populations, something that hadn't been done before. They did that in Florence in 1971. By the way, we had the same sort of moment of mind control, which was we went on to the all fiat system. We went on to the dollar, and that was a form of mind control, and it worked. So they could end the program. They could end MK Ultra.
Right. Well, throughout history, all attempts to control the population in any way, either through propaganda, through weaponized memes, through symbolic representations, it all, throughout history, comes down to a battle between fear and love.
Yes.
And as was the case of the 60s and the summer of love and the embrace of love, this ultimately triumphed over the fear of America in losing their empire and the need for them to go out and start a war. That was a war of convenience. It had no political merit, but it was based on fear. Same thing, most wars are all based on fear, and the only solution is love. So Renaissance could also mean love. It's a synonym for love, you could say, and all the artists of the Renaissance were chastised because they kept depicting love. Venus was a huge subject in Renaissance art as an expression of love.
And I also want to point out that the Renaissance was, the crucial part of it was understanding their history, because during the Middle Ages, nobody knew about history. They weren't taught that. They weren't allowed to learn it. It was only in the Byzantium. So they found knowledge in history. So those who are trying to erase history now, it's important to watch and study what they're doing, and whether or not you want to forget history, and whether or not you want to erase Aristotle, for example. That's a question being asked now. So this Gutenberg galaxy, it's a non-stop fight. As we point out, it's been happening for thousands of years. These are the same battles, but I think we could be on the verge of a renaissance. Leave comments if you think or not it's true. What do you think?
The Summer Solution series is just kicking off right now with this first episode, and we're going to be diving deeply.
Hot. It's hot. See, I'm like a Venus coming out of my shell.
That's exactly the image I had in my mind. And we're going to explore my inner psyche. At times. Maybe not.
That's too dark.
No, it's love. I am love. Oh my goodness, I can't wait for the rest of this Summer Solution season. It's going to be love-tastic. Stay tuned. It's going to be a heck of a ride. This has been Kaiser Report Summer Solutions with Max and Stacy. If you want to reach us on Twitter, it's Kaiser Report. Until next time, bye, y'all.
Don't worry about dinner. Let dinner come to you with DoorDash. Ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want to eat, and your food will be delivered to you wherever you are.
Yeah.
Bleach did the trick. Has Underhill tried bleach?
Get in
This thing.
there. Wow. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh shit. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Why is there not a save point here? Come on.
Has Underhill tried bleach? My family had black mold once. Bleach did the trick. Has Underhill tried bleach?
Found one.
Oh shit, I'm nearly dead.